Hi guys, welcome to a very special Tarotscope for April of 2023. I say it's very special because I'm using a brand new deck. It just got released. It's the Biddy Tarot Deck, and you guys know biddytarot.com if you're into tarot reading at all. My friend Bridget Esselmont made this deck, and I'm going to be doing the Tarotscopes today from this deck. So you'll be able to see how the cards are reminiscent of the Smith Waite. So it's really easy for me to go ahead. That's the deck I normally use and read from it. It just shuffles so nicely and really smoothly. And as I've been using it for the past few days, I was lucky enough to get a copy in advance. The readings have been really spot on. So I'm going to go ahead and use this deck and you can kind of take a look. We do sell this at modernmysticshop.com and also at both of our stores if you're looking to add to your collection. And also we're having a special event with Bridget and I. It's a free community event on it's April 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can follow us through this Instagram, for our Instagram account. You can RSVP for the event. But it's going to be me and Bridget, and I get to talk to her about the deck and that process. She's going to teach us some tarot tricks and tips. And if you have any questions for Bridget that you want me to ask at the event, you can go ahead and comment, and I'll go ahead and get those lined up for her. But she's just like such a tarot, she's like the queen of tarot, so we get to talk with her. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the collective reading and then we'll go from there. All right, please be clear for the collective. Hey, I'm getting used to the new deck. All right, for the collective, we have the Hanged Man, we have the Page of Wands, and then we have the Emperor. So what I see here is that the beginning of this month, we're going to sort of have a stall, right? So you might have some momentum and things that you want to push forward, but you might be in suspended motion right now. And that's a really great time to sort of look at things from a different perspective and wonder, if this pause was for my benefit, how would I be making this work for me? And it's showing here that the pause is going to actually give you time to ignite some sort of new idea or passion or light this fire within you. So if you've been going really fast, it's almost like the pause allows you to stoke that flame. And it moves you towards this Emperor energy, which is really mindfully creating and nurturing your kingdom, how it is that you show up in the world and how you take your leadership out into the world and display it for those and inspire those around you. So if by the end of the month things are going to get moving and you're going to kind of see the method to the madness, just please don't allow yourself to get overly frustrated for this pause moment. The pause is there for you to sort of reflect and see things differently, and then start again with more with a sense of momentum that is from maybe even a deeper, more original place. All right, since it is Aries month, we're going to go ahead, or Aries season, pull a card of the year for Aries, and then we'll do the scope for April. So for our Aries friend, the card is boom, the Moon card. This is the card of the year. So Aries, we're going to really ask you to slow down this year, to reflect on all of the cycles that you've had in your life. Like maybe you'll notice different cycles and patterns that have been happening. And this year we want you to reflect upon those cycles and patterns so that you can help sort of predict or tune into your own natural rhythms. Also with the Moon card, it's when certain things that have been sort of under the water, you can see water behind me, under the water, are coming out to the surface and into the light. So this is a great year for you to be ready to kind of excavate some information about yourself, some areas that you're ready to face, maybe the recesses of your psyche, maybe some things that you haven't been willing to kind of dive into in the past. And this will help you deepen, and this will help you be more attuned to yourself, to your intuition, and to your natural flows and rhythms. And that might be a little bit against how you normally operate. So this is an opportunity to mature and stretch your edges when it comes to that patience, that cyclical nature, that intuition, instead of just pounding forward. Let's see what the energies are like for you for the month of April. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's going to be a really interesting month. You're going to kind of literally start out with a bang. We've got the Tower card, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Cups. So the Tower card enters the picture usually where there's a shakeup of some kind that is needed in order to. It sometimes happens when we've been ignoring the subtle nudges, right? And now it's like, okay, boom, the universe is going to put into into motion some massive changes that are needed that maybe you weren't proactively taking advantage of, right? So the universe is kind of going to force the issue a little bit. With seeing with the Knight of Pentacles, to me, this feels like this might be around work or your home life or anything in like your material realm that needed to be nudged forward. And it's going to seem like deja vu, like, ugh, this happened again. This might be like a circumstance that seems familiar with you. I'm seeing that with the Six of Cups. It's like, I feel like I've been here and done that. Why is this happening again? And the answer is this is a great opportunity to do it differently for two things. You could either do it differently to handle the disruption in a different way to break the cycle. Or number two, it's a way for you to see how you have changed since the last time this has happened. If you've had two similar disruptive events happening, you could have said, one was 10 years ago. Oh my goodness, 10 years ago, I would have dealt with this in this kind of way. Now I'm dealing with it in a more productive way. And you can really sort of track the benchmarks of your growth and evolution. Don't be afraid of change. I feel like you're not actually going to be afraid of the change or the disruption. It's going to be working out for your favor. And now this is also just a reminder to accept these subtle nudges from the universe and take proactive measures so that you can maybe have a little bit more gentler kinds of transformations and transitions. All right, Taurus. All right, Taurus folks. This is great. Okay, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Hermit card. Look at that cool Hermit card. And we've got this Ace of Pentacles. So what we're seeing here for the Tauruses of the community is in the beginning of the month with the Seven of Swords to me really does show something going on regarding trust. Like someone in your life is not being fully upfront, or there's some things that are going on behind the scenes. So what I would say is, like, if you've got those nudges that maybe, something is out of alignment or not quite on the up and up, trust yourself, investigate. It's okay to pause for a second because we are, as a collective, in that pause transition time to kind of relook at some things and make sure that also everything is buttoned up from your end so that no matter what does happen, there's nothing that where you have been sort of out of integrity. It's showing that this might be a month where you're going to want some more alone time than usual, more time for integration. If you've been going through a lot in your life and it's sort of, and if you've been in any sort of survival mode, it's a great time to rebalance and reflect. It's a very, very positive time for reflection and then integration. And then it's also a month with this Ace of Pentacles. It's a great month to start new jobs, new projects, new living arrangements, anything that you would like to plant a seed for that will grow over time. The energies are really working hard in your favor in that earthly realm, and as an earth sign, it's really where you're most at home. All right, let's see who is next. Gemini. Let's see what's going on with our Gemini friends with our Biddy Tarot Deck. All right, what do we got? 1, 2, wow, 3 Geminis. We've got a lot of masculine energy going on. And in the tarot, whenever we see these archetypes, it could be aspects of self or it could be people in play that are affecting you. But we've got, first and foremost, we have this King of Pentacles. Then we have another masculine figure in the Hierophant. And then lastly, we have the King of Wands. So what I would say here is, some of the other signs have been, we were encouraging them to have a very internal month. This is really a time for you to have some internal space with this Hierophant card, but really being more out in the world. So the king, the masculine energy, is more external, how you move through the world. And the king level is really your level of self-mastery and leadership. So I would say that you're being called to be a leader in the workplace and also in sort of like the creative spiritual realm. You're going to inspire others through your presence and through your example. It's very important this month to be deeply present in whatever it is that you're doing. So I would see what it would be like to eliminate as many distractions as possible so that you can be really potent in whatever it is that you are pursuing. Seeing the Hierophant here, it's a great month to double down on your rituals, your spiritual practices, because if you're going to be in the front, and going to be focused on as a leader, you've got to be doing the work behind the scenes so that you can handle that pressure, so that you are balanced, your nervous system is strong. So any habits and routines that make you feel rooted and grounded, and rituals and sort of like those healthy habits will sort of make sure that you're walking the walk as you're leading others in these different areas and facets of your life. All right, next up is Cancer. Please be clear for our Cancer friends. All right, Cancers. What do we got here? Okay, great. We're getting a lot of court cards this month for folks. We've got the Knight. Oh, can you see that? The Knight of Cups. We've got the Five of Swords, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So what we're seeing here to me is a transition between the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and sort of the bridge or like the challenge that we're dealing with is the Five of Swords. So the Knight of Cups is a great energy. He's like the Prince Charming, the romantic of the tarot deck. But what we're trying to get to is more Queen of Cups energy, which is like a more mature version of the cups energy, which is the heart, which is emotion, which is like a really intuitive and tapped in sort of archetype. And what stands between this leveling up between the Knight of Cups, which is like more, experiencing these emotions, but like less mastery of it. You're sort of like learning on the fly, to this more nurturing mastery level of how you handle emotions and your intuition is the Five of Swords, which is really the mind, which is really the belief that you can do it, which is having like more loving and nurturing thoughts towards yourself. And not only projecting your love and those efforts outward to like your love interests, but really channeling that capacity, that deep capacity you have for love and compassion to yourself. So I would say be a little bit emotionally selfish this month, meaning like just self-directed. Be very, very mindful of how it is that you talk about yourself and how you experience self-criticism, and see if you can transmute that into more self-compassion this month, and it will take you to another level of depth in your emotional well-being and emotional generosity. All right, Leo. Two. All right, Leos. This is really interesting. I feel like you're going to be a hot commodity this month. We've got the Seven of Wands, we have the Lovers card, and then we've got the Devil card. So when I see the Seven of Wands for the Leos, I feel like there's going to be a lot of energy coming your way that you're going to feel like you're going to have to ward off almost. And when I see it next to the Lovers card, I'm wondering, are Leos feeling extra magnetic, extra desired by those around you? So it feels like it's a really maybe great time to try to date. It just seems like even maybe blasts in the past might be coming through. Now, the trick or the catch is when you're the center of this focus and admiration, and there's attention going your way with the Devil card, it's like you can slip back into old patterns of how it is or how you behave when you get attention. Now I'm thinking about this, like Leos, the trope about Leos is like they like to be the center of attention. Well, what shows up here this month is like being the center of attention for you has really positive traits that get highlighted, but then also there's some negative traits. And so it's the balance between how to harmonize the attention and use it for good, as opposed to use it to bolster your ego or to like get a little bit full of yourself, if that's the case for you. But the negative habits or the negative things that come up from that attention might be unique to every single Leo. So enjoy the attention, enjoy the energies coming forward, be discerning with what energies you engage with, and then check yourself. Like, am I acting in a positive way, or is this pulling up some more negative attributes and an opportunity to get right with those? All right, Virgos. All right, Virgos. This is a really interesting month for Virgos. Okay, I love this card. We've got the Sun card here. We've got the Four of Cups, and that's kind of why this is interesting to me. And then the Magician. So the Sun and the Magician are super positive cards. And then we have right between the two, this Four of Cups. So I feel like you're going to start this month coming out the gate really strong. So if you've had a hard time prior, this is sort of the month where you're going to feel like you can be fully expressed, you can be yourself, you can kind of like step back into the sun. Maybe it's the spring weather that's lifting your spirits and putting you out there. But what is showing up here is also with this Magician, you're in a highly manifestative zone. So you're able to manifest whatever you want kind of at a drop of a hat. And that's probably because with the Sun card, you really are aligned and you really are feeling positive about yourself and you're expressing yourself in an authentic way. And when that happens, you're sort of in this flow of being able to create and attract and manifest whatever it is that you want. The problem is here, the disconnect a little bit is this Four of Cups energy, where there are certain gifts that are just right in front of your face being delivered, and you're rejecting them. And, when we think about manifestation, oftentimes we think about tangible things. But in this case, it's showing there's like a lot of emotional generosity, emotional contact, people reaching out, and you're kind of pushing that away. And part of what you being able to manifest and create might be being discerning with who you accept the energy from, but accepting energy and using that also to create with others might get you a little bit further than just saying like, nope, I got it. Nope, I can do it on my own. And it's showing here you are going to be feeling really good. So sometimes we don't reach out to people when we're feeling great. This is saying like, it's good to practice reaching out when you're feeling good so that when you're feeling bad, you've already flexed that muscle and it will be easier for you to reach out when you truly, truly do need the help. All right, Libra, what do we got here, guys? One, two. Ooh, we got a swordsy month for Libras. Good to know. All right, Libras. We've got the Three of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords. And we have the Queen of Cups. It's always weird to like look at the camera. There we go, the Queen of Cups. So I will say this, it's turning out to be that the beginning of this month seems a little tumultuous for you guys, but I'm just going to lead with the end of the month resolves in a really great way. But it's showing right out the gate, we're dealing with heartbreak, betrayal, stressors, negative stories, dramatizations, melodramas, like really being stuck in your head and creating these narratives that are causing more distress than they are helping. And the good thing I always say about these hard swords cards is that they are in the position of the mind. Swords represent the mind. And when you're in that position, you have most control over your thoughts and your beliefs. And so, to the best of your ability, the way out of your mind is through your heart, is through the Queen of Cups. It's through getting into your emotions, being open and receptive, being in the flow, and putting up higher premium on your feelings, your intuitions, being in the flow, and putting almost no stock right now in your thoughts and beliefs, because right now they're showing to be more of a detriment than a help. And so we're going to ask you to really drop into your heart space, feel the feelings, use your emotional intelligence to navigate as opposed to relying on the swords, which is tough because you're an air sign, and so the air has strength in the mind. So I will say the way to use your mind to your advantage is to be mindful and listen to the stories that you're telling yourself, and then actively try to create a different narrative that's a smoother path, that's a more positive way to look at things. All right, Scorpio. Oh no. All right. Scorpio, I'm getting emotional about it because it's my Tarotscope for the month and it's not looking so joyous. All right, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Two of Wands, and then we have the Five of Cups. And this is the saddest Tarotscope so far. We're more than halfway through. So let's have a moment with our Scorpio friends. It's saying starting out the month with a lot of stress and anxiety, maybe sleeplessness, bad dreams. Again, like I was talking to our Libra friends, like very heavy emphasis on the mind and the stories that we tell ourselves. And then it's showing about halfway through the month, there's this like fork in the road where you're going to have to decide, do I take that risk and do I, or do I stay close to the shore? I love that's like kind of the vibe that I get with this two of wands card. And the answer to this, usually with the Two of Wands, is to take the riskier path and to follow the passions in those pursuits, even if it means there's like heartbreak on the other side of it. Like sometimes there's a sense of grief and mourning, losing the thing that you're leaving behind. So that's kind of where you're at right now. It's like, what are you going to leave behind? What are you going to risk to move forward? And it's amazing that even making that choice soothes the anxiety. I think a lot of times the anxiety is in the unknown and is in the either the waffling or the not making a decision. And just by choosing a path, even if there's sadness about what you will have to lose, it will quell the anxiety and it will at least put you on a path to forward momentum. All right, Sagittarius. 2. All right, we got lots of cups for our Sag friends, and they're also not having the most ideal Tarotscope. Not quite as tricky as the Scorpios, but we've got the Page of Cups, then we have the Eight of Cups, and then we have the Ten of Wands. So I will say this, if I'm remembering correctly, Sagittarius have been on quite a positive tear and have had a string of a lot of positive momentum. So it's okay that we're like in a little bit of a stuck place this month. So we're seeing here, what's calling to me right off the gate is the center card of the Eight of Cups. And when I see it next to the Page of Cups, it means to me that there are some decisions that you've been making from like an emotionally immature place. So it's like maybe from the wounded inner child or from like an old way that you see yourself. And it's keeping you really stuck. And you're stuck in circumstances that aren't so bad that you feel like you have to leave, but the best choice is to leave. And like the Eight of Cups of that stuck energy is oftentimes what happens for quite some time before the Tower card comes through, which we pulled for someone, I can't remember, this scope. And so it's saying that that being stuck and is causing overwhelm, is causing the stagnancy, and we got to get you unstuck. And the way to do that is to sort of like level up your level of maturity. If you were your own mom or dad or mentor and you were assessing the situation from a objective place, how is it that you would guide yourself? And like, how can you make those decisions as your most mature grown-up self and let that person be the aspect of you that's driving your car, driving yourself right out of the malaise and the overwhelm and the stuckness and the stagnancy into something that has more movement. All right, Capricorn. Seven of Swords again, just like we have for the Taurus, Knight of Cups, and Ten of Pentacles. So Seven of Swords, Seven of Swords, Knight of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. So again, I would say here, this is a little bit similar to the message that we got for the Taurus friends here, is that needs to be a review of like people and activities, to make sure that everything's on the up and up and no one's doing anything sort of like sneaky on the side, and making sure that even that you and all the people that you are associating with are in integrity. And it's showing that like you might have this like really rosy picture of people and you're like a really sort of in the phase of being glass half full mentality. But what I'm seeing here is like that mentality isn't going to have you see the truth of things. And we don't want, with this Ten of Pentacles, we don't want any sort of naivety to create a financial loss or a financial hardship or mess with anything having to do with your life structure, work, or whatever. So if you have that nudge or that inkling that something's not quite right, especially like around finances, or maybe someone's not telling the whole truth, or someone's hiding something from you, I would investigate further. And I would also just like check, especially if you have your own business, or check your personal finances and make sure that everything is just lined up perfectly, and kind of a little bit be on the hunt for that. I would also say, just throwing this out there, it might be a good time to like check your credit, to lock your credit, or to make sure that there's no sort of fraud going on. That would be my recommendation. All right, Aquarius. All right, this is really interesting. We've got the Magician, we've got the Moon card, and we've got the Ten of Wands. So here's my advice to our Aquarius friends. You are a hyper manifester, and right now you're really in this position where you can create whatever you want. But what's happening is there are some certain things in your psyche, in your past, like your shadow, quote unquote, that has not been checked. And so you can manifest good things, but you can also manifest hard things if you're unconsciously manifesting and you're letting some of these unconscious patterns, beliefs, etc. run the show. So what I'm seeing here is there's this opportunity for you to get like really clear and face some sort of some things that are coming to light, so that you can be cleaner and more direct with your manifestation. Because right now, in a weird way, what you're creating is creating more overwhelm, and not more freedom, and not more fun, and not more any of those sorts of things. You're actually might be creating some hardships for yourself. And so it's like, be real strict about your thoughts. You be strict about what you say. Check in on what you really do believe about yourself and others, because you're always manifesting. So make sure that you're manifesting consciously what you want to, and not passively and mistakenly creating kind of a mess for yourself. All right, Pisces is the last one. Pisces. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Strength card. I love that one. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So, if you're starting this top of this month with any sort of illness, like financial hardship, like just not feeling super comfortable regarding just like the physical realm in which we live, just know that by the end of the month, there's going to be some new developments that will kind of ease that sort of stress. And it's showing here with the Strength card that you have the resiliency and the maturity and the compassion to weather any of the like these little fluctuations that happen, instead of allowing it to have you spin out. So I would just say, like, lean into your maturity, your sense of confidence, your strength, to just know that like things come and go, and this is just a cycle, like a minor blip on this little time period of time. And this is not something that's going to last in perpetuity. And just know that from that mature viewpoint of the activities of the month, you can really navigate this without it disrupting anything, really. All right, so those are our tarot scopes for April of 2023. Again, if you were with me, if you weren't at the top of this, I've been using this new Biddy Tarot Deck. It might be different than what you're used to seeing me use. This is hot off the presses. We sell it at Modern Mystic Shop online and in both stores. And then we're also having an event with the creator of this deck, and I'm sure you guys know biddytarot.com, but her name is Bridget Esselmont, and she's going to be doing a free community event on Monday, April 10th with me at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can go to I'll put the link in this video, and you can RSVP for the event, and you can also grab the deck. It's really fun, and it was so easy for me to read. I didn't even skip a beat, being someone that's familiar with the Rider and Smith Waite versions. So if that's you and you're looking to add to your collection, this is like a really fun and easy way to get a little bit of fresh energy into your tarot readings. So thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you guys next month. All right, bye.